Yo, what's up? This is CPW29, and I want to cry about, I guess the best way to put it is tipping culture, yeah? What the hell is that shit? So yeah, obviously, I don't go out to fucking eat very much, right? Because why would I do that when I could, you know, be a bum and, like, sit around and play Minecraft instead? Right? No brainer. Just play Minecraft. But, I don't know. Apparently other people don't think the same way. So they go out and fucking eat shit at restaurants. Probably not literal shit, but it could be, you know? But, then the people who bring them their food, you know? They want money. What is that? Why would you want money, bro? Doesn't make sense. But they don't just want money, right? They want the customer's money, which doesn't make sense because, you know, normally if you're at work, you're getting your employer's money, right? Right? Not the customer's money. And so it's like, well, what's the deal? The idea of a tip is you give them extra money because it's good service, right? But not really anymore. Like, that's what it was at first, right? But now it's like you're just expected to you know, give your server, your waiter, or whatever, free money. It's free. And it's money. It's free money. I don't know. These guys seem kind of entitled, bro. But it's like, okay, so there's the, I guess, societal expectation, societal norm, whatever you want to call it, right? I get 20 gold for being close to the wool room. That's sweet. But yeah, so it's like everybody just kind of expects, you know, you tip your gay waiter. Probably your straight waiters too, but especially the gay ones, I guess. But like, what's the deal? Why are they entitled to it, huh? So it's basically, there's some bullshit where, like, restaurants don't have to, like, pay their, ooh, I'm alive, their employees minimum wage because, you know, the National Restaurant Association guys, you know, all the guys who own the restaurants, or the guys who represent the restaurant owners, I don't know. They, like, lobby to the government, and they're like, yo, since tips are a thing, we should be able to pay our employees less than minimum wage. And then, you know, they make up the difference in tips, right? So they're still getting more money than the minimum wage. Which is bullshit, right? It doesn't make sense. You can't just rely on the hope that they'll get enough in tips, right? You should have to pay at least the minimum wage. So as far as I understand it, and maybe, you know, this is all incorrect. As far as I understand it, let's see. The restaurant has to pay, like, some small amount at least. It's like $2, right? And the minimum wage is like $7 something. I guess the federal, like, minimum wage is $7 and something. So it's like if the restaurant has to pay their employees $2, and then the employee has to make, they have to make at least minimum wage somehow. And so if they get enough tips that, along with the $2 they're getting from the restaurant, if that combined with the tips means they're reaching minimum wage, then that's just it. That's what they get. But if the tips are not I'm alive. If the tips don't increase their pay to at least minimum wage, the restaurant has to cover the difference, right? So no matter what, they can't get paid less than minimum wage, right? So what's the deal? The guys, the waiters, right, the servers, they're really crying because they if you don't tip them, they're less likely to get over minimum wage. But it's like, ooh, if we agree that everybody should make over minimum wage, well, then the problem isn't that we need to tip the dickheads, it's that we need to raise minimum wage or whatever, right? And then obviously, the bullshit where the restaurant can pay them less than minimum wage and rely on tips to make up the difference, it sounds like horseshit to me, right? the restaurant should have to pay them minimum wage, and then they can make whatever else, or at least minimum wage, and then they can make whatever else on top of that from fucking tips, right? Shouldn't be able to rely on the tips. The idea of a tip is that it's extra, it's free money. Why the hell does the restaurant get to rely on it? So it's like if this waiter bum, right, if he's making less than, if he hasn't gotten enough tips for the, I don't know if they do it by day or whatever, but he hasn't got enough to make it so that he's making minimum wage, when you tip him, he's not making any extra money. You're just paying his wage instead of the restaurant, right? Because the restaurant only has to make up the difference between what they made a minimum wage. Ooh, please, let me get him. No. So, it doesn't make sense, bro. We don't need tipping culture bullshit, right? Like in Europe and shit, other countries, it's not really a thing, right? As far as I've heard, and by that I mean read on the internet, yeah? Like, in other countries, you know, if you're giving somebody a tip, you're not expected to. Ooh, this guy sucks. Oh, come on, he's like one hit, and the game ends. That guy sucks. But, yeah, if you're giving somebody a tip, it's because you wanted to give him a tip, not because you're expected to, right? Doesn't make sense. I don't know, man. The gay, you know, Eurocut guys, they're actually right about something for once. What the hell? They're based on, like, one thing? Unbelievable. Everybody in Europe is wrong about everything else. Like, especially the metric system, somehow. But, what the hell is tipping? It's not like, you know, tipping is the worst thing ever. If you want to tip the guy, the server, because they're good at serving, right? Cool. But why should it be expected? You're just entitled. You just want free money. Like there's this post that I seen. I guess it went somewhat viral, right? But it's this lady, and she's like complaining on Twitter or something. She's crying because, come on, build a bridge. Go. Because like the table she was serving, you know, they had like I guess they were Europeans visiting America or something. They had like come on, bro, $700 meal, right? And so apparently like expected tipping percentage is like 20. And so they had a $700 meal and they tipped $70, 10%. And she's crying about it. It's like, you got free $70? Just free $70 and you're mad because it's not enough for you? Piss off. Like, why would the tip be based on percentage? It's like expected percentage of the price of the meal, which doesn't make sense because it's not like a meal being more expensive means it's inherently harder to serve. And that's the only reason you should earn more as a tip, right? Is either you did better at serving or because it was a more difficult item to serve or difficult meal to serve, right? So it's like, you know, those like gold-plated hamburgers or whatever? They're like, it's a hamburger, but it has like gold wrap on it. I don't know what it's called. It's like, that's just as easy to serve as a regular hamburger, but it costs like $1,000 or whatever, right? So if you were in a really fancy restaurant, right? Why? And they like expect 20%, right? So if I order a regular hamburger, you know, what is it? I don't know, at a fancy restaurant, how much does it cost? I don't know. Not $1,000. Let's say $20 to make it easy, you know? So then what? They're expecting a tip of $4. But if I order a gold-plated hamburger, just as easy to serve, they don't have to do anything else. It's just like a regular hamburger. They're expecting a $200 tip? Why would the tip be based on cost of the meal? It doesn't make sense. Just do like a standard tipping amount. If you're going to have like tipping culture, it doesn't make sense. Alright? Like, sure, the cost of a meal could generally be related to like the amount of items you've purchased. No way he made that jump. Right? Like if I'm spending $700, it's probably because I ordered a bunch of items. Generally, not specifically, but like, what the hell? How much harder is it to serve some extra items? Yeah, I'm probably making shit up now. It probably is harder, but don't worry about that. All right? Just agree with whatever I said, bro. Like, if you're serving me one item either way, and one is more expensive than the other, you don't deserve a bigger tip because one item is more expensive than the other. Because it's just as easy. Like, it's one item. It's one... Like, what the hell? Just because one of them is more expensive doesn't mean you had to work harder. Piss off. I don't know, man. Those guys just love free money. And, you know, I guess I love free money too. But, I don't know. I'm not a server, so I guess I don't get any. It's like... why... There's no reason why this should be inherently linked to being a waiter or a server, whatever you want to call it, right? It's like... Why would it be linked to that? Huh? Why? Because that's just how, you know, it's classically done. But it's not like it's any harder than any other, you know, low skill, is that a term I can use for it? Low skill-ish job, right? It's not like it's super hard. Like, why would your fucking cashier, why would you not tip him if he's really quick, you know, if he's really efficient at putting your, you know, Walmart items on the... bagging them quickly, huh? Why don't you tip that guy? Oh, because there's no tipping culture around it. It's just for waiters at restaurants, even though they're all bums, alright? What the hell? So, I guess if you're a entitled server, you're gay, right? But also, if you're the guys lobbying for the restaurant association, if you're lobbying to be able to pay your workers lower than minimum wage by relying on the goodwill of your customers, you're also gay. What the hell? The only guys who are cool are the customers, because they're just giving free money to hobos. You know? What the hell? They probably don't even want to. Nobody wants to give free money out, right? But it's just expected of them, bro. Sometimes they're being nice, but it's probably just because it's expected of them, you know? You gotta give that guy money or he's gonna spit in your food. Yeah, that's what... How is it acceptable? It's not acceptable, but how is it like a thing? It seems like it's like a known secret, you know? You don't tip, right? You go back to the same restaurant or some shit, they're gonna spit in your food. How's that? Okay. Bro, if you're working at a restaurant and you're spitting in people's food, you should be going to jail or getting sued. How's that a thing? That's insane. Like... Come on, man. It's unsanitary, even. Oh, man. If you're spitting in people's food, you know, you get the electric chair. That's what should happen, bro. Everybody knows it. I don't know. But, whoa. That was weird. But yeah. Everything related to tipping is gay, man. Just the tip. Just the tip. That's what I always say. Anyway. Subscribe or you obese.